Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. It's so good to be here today. I'm Immigration Attorney Yael Brudner, and I am going to discuss immigration today. And specifically, I am going to answer the question that we get all the time from people that call our office and are thinking about starting an immigration case. And that question is this a good time to file my case with immigration? Or should I wait? It's kind of crazy times right now. We have a global pandemic happening. There's an election happening soon. What should I do? What is the best way to go? And I'm going to talk a little bit about that. And before I start talking about the topic of the day, just want to introduce myself to those of you that are just joining. My name is Yael Brudner. I'm an immigration attorney. Our office is located in Orange County, California, which is Southern California. And we serve clients from all over the US and all over the globe. We have clients all over the world, which is amazing. And we do a wide variety of immigration topics, and we help clients with all different kinds of matters. We help individuals, businesses, people that are abroad that want to come to the US, families that want to unite together, and so much more. If you have any questions today when I talk about immigration, feel free to write them in the comments and I will get to them as I go. But I would love to have a discussion and answer as many questions as I can as they come in. So if you have any questions, please feel free to write them to me. If you don't want to ask your question publicly, you can definitely reach out to us personally. You can send us a direct message, visit our website, or call us, and we would love to help you schedule consultation and really talk to you privately about your case. Okay, so you are thinking about filing a case with immigration. You might be here in the US, maybe you're lawful permanent resident, maybe you have a green card and you've been thinking about filing for your citizenship and you just kind of been putting it off, and you know you want to do it, but you're just not really doing it. You know, life is life and it's busy and you don't always get to it. Or maybe you have a family member that you really want to petition to come to the US and live here with you. Maybe it's your parent, or maybe it's your children that are older or younger, and you want to petition for them to come, but you are just you don't know when to do it. You don't know when to start or if to start. Perhaps you're an investor that you want to start a business in the US, but you don't know if it's the right time. Okay, so my answer to everyone is, of course, every case is different, right? Everyone has their own specific situation and their own facts and what's going on with their life. But in general, my kind of guidance to people is that I always suggest to people, go ahead and file your case, because there are delays and there are processing times, and for some categories there are waits for visas to become available. So really, there's no reason to wait. Now, people are asking, but is immigration even open? We have a pandemic going on. We have embassies and consulates that are closed. Things are really crazy. So to that question, immigration is definitely open. Immigration is accepting cases. Yes, they have some backlogs, and yes, things are a little bit delayed. But if you wait to file, the delay is not going to get better. The delay is just going to increase. So definitely, I think that you should go ahead and file your petition as soon as possible with immigration. Okay, and I do see that there's some questions coming in. So I'm going to see here on TikTok. I'm streaming live to TikTok and Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. So let me see that I'm catching all the questions everywhere. Okay, so there's a question about you being an Australian that would like to apply for the E2 visa, and how much would you need to invest? You are in the US on an E visa right now, and you're asking if you would like to renew it, or what is exactly your question about the E visa? Okay. Members of nationals of Australia are also eligible for the E3 visa. So I don't know if you're which one you're referring to. because you mentioned skilled visa, those skilled workers. Okay, so let's see. So if you can clarify that question, I'd love to answer it. Kaja is asking, he's saying, thanks for hosting. You're welcome. Thank you so much for joining. You're planning to marry your American girlfriend. How long does it take to file the process? Okay, for the green card. Great question. We actually help couples all the time. We do marriage-based petitions. That's, I think the most common case that we do. How long does it take? Well, to answer the question, it's a little tricky because it's hard to say exactly how long, but to give you a range, if you're here in the US, most likely about 12 to 15 months, depending where you are in the US and what's going on with your local USCIS center in terms of interview scheduling. But usually that's the time frame. Okay, when we file a marriage case, we also file for work authorization, we file for advanced parole. So it might take you, a year to get your green card, or a year and a half maybe to get your green card, but you will get your work permit much earlier. Okay. Jahul is asking, can we travel on work permit, which is advanced parole? Will there be any implications? So if you have applied for advanced parole and work authorization at the same time, you would get what's called a combo card, which is your work permit and your advanced parole. So if you have an advanced parole, then you can travel. Take into account that if anything happens to your adjustment of status, if that case is denied for any reason, then you will not be able to come back. Okay, and also that you cannot travel while you have an adjustment of status pending without getting the advanced parole. Really, really important. Okay, also just in general, what I'm saying right now is general information. Really, I can't give specific advice without looking at the exact document you're talking about to tell you if that's an advanced parole and if you can travel with it. But in general, yes, if you have a work permit that says advanced parole, most likely it's the combo card and you can travel with it. Okay, so SIUSA, Suisa, I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. You're asking how much does the E3, how much you need to invest on the E3. So the E3 and the E2 are two different things. E2 is an investor visa, and that's an investment that's required. E3 is a special work visa that's available for nationals of Australia, and it's for skilled workers, people with a bachelor's degree. I can definitely help you and advise you about it specifically to tell you the difference and which would be the best one for you. If you would like to reach out to our office and to schedule a consultation. If you are talking in general, just to talk in general about the E2 and what would be the cost for an E2, like how much you need to invest to qualify, then usually we say that the minimum to invest would be at least $50,000. But this is very depending on your business, okay? The amount that you need to invest depends on what business you're starting in the US. Okay, if you're starting a restaurant and you're starting a digital marketing company, the amount that you need to invest to qualify will differ between those two. Okay, so if you're thinking about the E2 investor, we've been helping a lot of people with investor visas. Schedule a consultation with us. Send us a message. You can visit our website or call us to schedule, and we will guide you through and explain the entire process. Okay. Let's see if there's any other questions. I'm reviewing questions on TikTok, immigration questions. How to get on status when I don't have anything legal. Crazy stuff. That's your question. Give me a little bit more information about you. Definitely there are ways that you can get status. It is more of a specific case, fact-based situation, but it's worth consulting with an immigration attorney, sitting one-on-one with a lawyer and seeing, if you have options and what are the options that you have. Okay. Jahul saying that you got the work permit and it says advanced parole. I have not got my interview yet. Can I still travel? From what you're describing, it looks like you can. I cannot say until I actually see it, but just in general, if you have it and says advanced parole, you're probably fine. Okay, so thanks everyone for joining. I am streaming to multiple platforms on Facebook and TikTok and YouTube and Instagram. So I have questions from different platforms. So if I miss your question, please reach out to us and I'll love to answer it. So let's see. The question if the E2 leads to a green card. That's a really common question. Okay, the E2 doesn't necessarily lead directly to a green card. In fact, no visa leads to a green card. In order to get a green card, you have to have a petition put in for you to apply for a green card. So you would have to have you have to do another petition. So it's not, if you have a visa, it's not like it just like naturally would lead to a green card. You would have to have an employer or family relative sponsor you, or perhaps your business is very successful and you can upgrade it to an EB-5 investor green card, which requires an investment of about $1 million. So it doesn't lead to a green card, but it does give you a long period of time in the US in which you can definitely explore other options and see how you can get to a green card. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the questions, what are the requirements for the E2 investor visa? So the E2 investor visa is a visa that's available for nationals of treaty countries. So these are people that come from specific countries that have an agreement with the US. And there are about 75 countries, if I'm not mistaken, that are members of this treaty, and it allows for people to live and work in the U.S. if they invest a substantial amount of money in a U.S. business. Okay, it could be either a new business that they're starting or they're investing in an existing business. Okay, and again, when everyone asks, so how much is substantial? What do I need to invest? It really depends. You need to show that you invested a significant amount. So it's not enough to come with $5,000, $10,000 and say, and ask for this status. You have to invest at least $50,000, and it really depends on what your business is. Okay, so that's exactly what we would do in consultation. We would talk about what the business is, what the startup costs are, what would be the minimum that you would need to qualify. Usually the E2 is given for status of 2 years, and you can renew it usually without any problems, as long as the business is viable and still working. Okay, some countries, the visas are longer. So visas are given up to 5 years. And then, it's a little bit easier to extend the status. Okay, if you're interested about the E2 visa, we do have on our website, brudnerlaw.com. You can check it out in our bio. On Facebook, I'm going to link our information here. And we do have an E2 investor visa guide, which is free. It's a great resource. If you're thinking about investing, if you're thinking about this kind of visa, you can download it for free on our website. Okay. What's the best email to get in touch with you? Yeah. So our visa, I don't think there's a way for me to, let me see if I can add my email. I am new to streaming live on TikTok. I have to be honest. So I don't know if I get it right. If my email doesn't appear, this is actually my direct email, so you can email me directly. If my email doesn't appear here, you can reach out to us through our website or text this number and we will text you our email. Okay. There's a question, can we travel outside the US while on an E2 visa? Yeah, if you have an E2 visa, you can come in and out of the country. There's no problem. You can travel, no real limitations on that. And that's also a good option for people that are frequent travels, and they, need to go in and out a lot. So the E2 visa allows them to do that. Okay. Let's see. Okay, crazy stuff. Thank you for clarifying your situation. So you came in on a visa, tourist visa, and you had it for 6 months, but now you overstayed. Okay, so really, if you overstay your visa, you would, options that you have are limited, but there are options. For example, if you do happen to fall in love and get married to a U.S. citizen, then you could, the U.S. citizen can petition you for a green card, and you can stay here in the U.S. while your petition is pending. Other options might require that you do leave the country to apply for them, since you can't change the status here after you have overstayed your status. So really, I would suggest calling us to schedule a consultation and to evaluate what are the options for you. Okay, it's very fact specific. It's really, everyone has a different situation. Okay, so I am here answering immigration questions on a wide kind of variety of topics. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments. I'm just going to scroll down and make sure I didn't miss anything in all the different platforms. Okay, so if I don't have any other, Mr. X, go ahead. What's your question? I have a question from on TikTok. Let's see. Go ahead and ask it. Just, in general, if you have anything that you are thinking, if you're eligible to apply for anything, then just go ahead and do it. Especially if you're here a citizen and you want to, if you're here as a green card holder and you want to apply for citizenship, then it's definitely recommended to do it. If you're eligible for citizenship, go ahead and put in your N400. Okay, the question, no premium processing for the N400, unfortunately. Go ahead and put in the N400. There is a wait for it right now. It's about 12 months, here in where we are in Orange County. But really, the first reason I would say to you to file right away is that immigration is going to raise their fees, specifically for naturalization. So they were supposed to raise it. They already announced that they're going to raise it by $500, which is 80% more. And the district court, stopped them from doing that because there was litigation and the government was sued because they wanted to raise the fees. So that was stopped, but at any moment that can go, the new fees can kick in. So if you're eligible to file for citizenship and you're just sitting on it, just go ahead and put in your application, because you don't want to wait until they raise the fee and have to pay $500 more. I definitely wouldn't want to pay more to the government if I don't need to. Okay, the E2 visa fee. Well, the E2 visa fee really depends where you're applying. If you're applying at the consulate or you're applying here in the US to change your status. So it really depends. Okay, guys, so I am going to wrap up this live for today. Thank you, everyone, for joining in, for all the questions. If you are watching a replay of this on Facebook, yes, I see one more question. Yes, is Pakistan eligible for the E2? Yes, Pakistan is eligible. Mr. X, contact us for a consultation. If we have an office in New Jersey, our office is in Orange County, California. We don't have an office in New Jersey. However, we have clients from the East Coast. We have clients from New York. We have clients from other countries that come in the E2 investor visa. So immigration law is a federal law. So any licensed attorney throughout the US can practice no matter where their clients are. Okay, so we are licensed to practice even, if our client, and represent our client even if they live in New Jersey. So no problem at all. We do video conferences, we do phone calls, WhatsApp calls, whatever you want. We can, especially, after COVID, we completely converted to a remote practice. And if someone doesn't want to even come to the office at all, even if they live here down the street, they don't have to. We can do everything remote. Okay. So I hope I answered your questions, and please call my office to schedule a consultation so we can see if we can help you get that E2, okay? Okay, everyone, so I'm gonna wrap it up. Have a wonderful weekend, stay safe, stay healthy, and I will talk to you real soon.